And how did you guys start out as DJs way back in Egypt in the late 90s, when trance music is still considered foreign to the local Egyptians, who are very much deeply rooted in their ancient civilization culture?
Well, when we started in Egypt, we were like, people thought that we were crazy or something like that, because this music was so strange for the Egyptian dance music scene, because it used to be like very, very commercial, like clubs used to play like very commercial stuff, chart stuff. So when electronic also like a bit more like the progressive style, like John D. Green style, Sasha style. This was like the one that began to be big in Egypt. But trance, the way we do it, or like the PVD style, Armin and all these guys, was a bit like very strange to the people. Didn't get used to it, and until it took some time, I think around 2001, 2002, it became so big in Egypt and stayed for a while and then went down, and now it's picking up really back again.
Because of you guys?
Maybe, I don't know. We're doing our best, but yeah, now it's really picking up in Egypt recently.
Okay, so now that you guys are international artists, you spend most of your time touring the world, promoting your music. How are you guys getting used to this Middle Eastern and Western cultural differences? Is it very much difficult to get used to it?
I used to travel a lot worldwide when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because my father used to work, or he still works, with a lot of companies all over the world. Because his business is like something else, not music. But used to always like fly with him and travel with him for his business. He always liked to have us all together with him. He didn't want us to stay at home and he travels. So I'm used to the Western culture, and it doesn't make, nowadays it's not a big difference between the Western culture and the Egyptian one. Egypt's becoming more open, more westernized, so nowadays it's a bit like Europe in a way. Depends on where you are in Egypt.
I see. So how often do you fly back to your home country?
Well, I spend most of my times in planes, to be honest. Planes or hotels. And so, like the weekends I stay away from country, from Egypt. And then usually like Thursday till Monday, and then I stay Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then fly back again.
Okay, so
but mostly I don't see anything in Egypt. I don't see my friends.
Yeah.
I see like my girlfriend for a couple of days, not that much. But most of the time I spend in the studio when I'm back in Egypt.
Oh, okay. So the locals must have missed you a lot. Are you guys holding residency in any of the Egyptian clubs in Egypt?
No. We still don't want to get involved as a resident in Egypt, because we have a lot of places to do all over the world, so we don't want to be resident in anywhere else even. You know, it's not about Egypt. It's not. We don't want to have residency in somewhere, because it's always better to be going around and spreading your music as much as possible. So better than being resident in some place for every week or something like that. But we're planning to do like every 3 months. We're planning to do our own night in Egypt, so we can encourage the scene in Egypt and build it up more.
Okay, you mentioned just now that you spend most of the time in the studio. So the Aly and Fila internet radio show is also called The Future Sounds of Egypt. So how would you wish the future sound of Egypt to be like?
Well, I'm happy how it's going right now with the label, the radio show, with us as Aly and Fila. So now I'm happy that Aly and Fila, the brand, is becoming really well known at the moment. So what I'm trying now is to boost also the Future Sound of Egypt brand, to have both of them together. Like when you say Future Sound of Egypt, it's Aly and Fila. When you say Aly and Fila, it's Future Sound of Egypt. So to have these together big enough, then together we'll have a bigger influence all over the world. So I'm trying to build Future Sound of Egypt as a radio show also, and a label. And now we have many radio stations and FM stations all over the world broadcasting the show every week. And we're gonna start to do we started already some Future Sound of Egypt nights in some places of the world. And yeah, we want to spread the brand Future Sound of Egypt as much as possible, hopefully.
Okay, so is there such a thing called Egyptian trance? Is there any difference?
No, to be honest, a lot of people like, we love your Egyptian trance. To be honest, I cannot call it Egyptian trance because it's influenced by, not by Egypt, to be honest. It's influenced by like the Dutch and the Germans and so on. But people like call our style of trance because we are from Egyptian trance. But yeah, I'm happy that they call it like that because yeah, it feels nice. I don't know if when they call it to our country, I'm happy with it.
When you produce your own style of music, do you bring in some Egyptian culture into your music as well?
In some tracks, not everyone, because it's the scales of the Egyptian music. It's different, a bit different than the Western ones. You have different scales of in the music, and it's a bit different. It depends how you're gonna listen to it, because some people it will be very strange to them. Some notes will be different. So maybe they won't like it. So we're trying to do something in the middle. Do like, for example, 1 or 2 tracks in the album that has the Egyptian influence, but we cannot produce all the tracks which has Egyptian influence because it will be a bit strange. You never know how the people will react to it. So we're always trying to have a bit of influence. Maybe one time we can do something like really obvious that this is pure Egyptian influence. But right now we are building bit by bit. We don't want to take risks at the moment.
I see. So is there any tracks that you actually put in such influences?
Like Khitera from our recent album, the melody is pure Egyptian scale, you know, pure Arabic scale.
Oh, okay.
And also the Rising Sun track, it has like the influence also from the break part, has the influence of the Egyptian music.
Okay, so you guys are here in Zouk, Singapore to promote your official debut album, The Rising Sun, and you have really came a long way since the 2003 Eye of Horrors. So what took you guys so long to produce this debut album?
We've been working on it for the last 2 years, I think.
Oh, okay.
And we've been planning since some time that we have to do our debut album because we want to show the people we are not only good remixers, we are not only doing just singles, we can do a proper album with our own original tracks and writing our own lyrics and melodies and everything. So this is like a new step forward for us, and I've seen the difference since we released the album. It's huge difference all over the place. Like everywhere I go since the release of the album, it's a huge difference and a huge feedback. And yeah, I think that people look at you in a different perspective because you are more an artist than just a remixer or just doing a single. And you know, I think it benefited us so much, and we just already started on the upcoming album. Don't know when it's gonna be released, but we started already, and we have like nearly 3 tracks already done for the new album.
Is there any reason why the album is entitled Rising Sun? Because it's like when I read the album and I have this image of like the Egyptians worshipping to the sun god.
Yeah, it's,
you know,
the sun word, it has the Egyptian thing with the god, the pharaohs and everything. And like people are always saying like, guys, you're rising guys right now and stuff like that. So we thought about, okay, let's do Rising Sun or something like that, you know. It was like an idea, and it sounded good, so we said, okay, let's call the track Rising Sun, and then we said, okay, let's call the whole album Rising Sun. It's a good image for the album to have the name like that. I don't know, this is how we felt about it.
Oh, sounds like a lot of fun making this album. Okay, so in this album, you guys joined forces with many talented vocalists and producers such as T. Lacey, Sue McMorran, and Dennis Revilla, and many more. How was the collaboration experience like?
It was amazing. It was really good because all of them are very good composers and very good songwriters and vocalists. So we were so happy to work. It's always fun to work with someone else, you know. Like usually when me and Aly working together, it's always fun, you know, than better being like a solo artist working alone in the studio and, you know, having everything on his shoulders, you know. But the good thing is that we are used to work like that. Me and Aly, we always used to work like a group work, you know, not one-man show. So having more people and more ideas from them, because it always opens more, you know, for the track, the input in the track.